Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. So we used to do that. So this famous verse from the Bhagavatam, extremely famous verse, describing Lord Chaitanya as the hidden incarnation of Lord Krishna. So first some prayers to the acharyas. You can join in. Om Aginatimurandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chakshmalatam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapatam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Didanti Sambadantikam Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Tapatakamalom Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Shri Jivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shiva Shavitam Cha Hey Krishna Karana Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopikanta Radha Kanta Namoste Tapta Kancha Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamani Hari Pre Vanshakalpa Turubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nivashesha Sanyavare Praskachade Satarane Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Advaita Gadadha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya This is Canto 11, Chapter 5, Text 32, and this is the standard verse in the whole Srimad Bhagavatam, which especially refers to this incarnation of Lord Chaitanya. So let's do the Sanskrit. Krishna Vanam. Again, Krishna Vanam. Tvisha Krishnam. Tvisha Krishnam. Sango Pangastra. Pashadam. Jagne. Sankirtan. Praya. Yajanti Hi Su Medasaha. Krishnavanam Dvisha Krishnam Sango Pangasta Parshadam Jagne Sankitan Priya Yajanti Samudasaha. Translation. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. So please repeat. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself, and he is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. So I'll start off reading what Srila Prabhupada has written. The same verse is quoted by Krishnadas Kaviraj in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, chapter 3, verse 52. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, has given the following commentary. So this is Prabhupada's commentary. This text is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Jiva Goswami has explained this verse in his commentary on the Bhagavatam, known as Krama Sandarbha, wherein he says that Lord Krishna also appears with a golden complexion. That golden Lord Krishna is Lord Chaitanya, who is worshipped by intelligent men in this age. That is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam by Garga Muni, who said that although the child Krishna was blackish, he also appears in three other complexions, red, white, and yellow. He exhibited his white and red complexions in the Satya and Treta ages respectively. He did not exhibit the remaining color, yellow gold, until he appeared as Lord Chaitanya, who is known as Gaura Hari. So we refer to Lord Chaitanya as Gaura Hari, Gauranga, Gaurasunda, and Gaura meaning golden. We are presently living in the Kali Yuga. So the Kali Yuga started 5,000 years ago. And the Kali Yuga is how long? 432,000 years. So the Kali Yuga is split into 12 portions. So each portion is 36,000 years long. And we are living now in the first portion because it only started 5,000 years ago. So we're actually at the beginning even of the first portion. It's called Pratana, this first portion. And the last Yuga was Dwapara Yuga. Is that correct? Dwapara Yuga. And the Dwapara Yuga was twice the length of the Kali Yuga. So in other words, 864,000 years. Now the Dwapara Yuga is also split into 12 parts. And the last part of the Dwapara Yuga is called Sesha. And the last part of the Dwapara Yuga mixes with the first part of the Kali Yuga. It overlaps. This is described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So there's an overlapping of these two yugas. And this can be seen because in the Dwapara Yuga, the method of self-realization, what was it? They emphasized what? Temple worship. Temple worship. It was emphasized. And in the Kali Yuga, what is emphasized? Chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So the last part and the first part of this yuga, Sesha, Sesha is the last part of the Dwapara Yuga, mixes with this. And we can see temple worship is still accepted and recognized, and especially in India, there are many temples, like Tirupati. I think at any one day there's possibly, 50,000 or 100,000 people. They're lining up to take darshan in this Tirupati Venkatasananda. It's a form of Lord Vishnu. And even there is a custom that they shave their head. So the barbers are very busy. But not only the barbers are very busy, they collect the hair. They collect it, because it's, the extensions, for the men and the women, they have these extensions. So they sell the hair, and they actually make a lot of money. And even ladies shave their heads, some, as a sign of renunciation, and then they take darshan of this deity of Lord Vishnu. So temple worship is also recommended. And the 6 Goswamis, Lord Chaitanya himself didn't establish temples. He didn't start a mission. But his followers did. And Rupa Goswami established the very famous temple, Radha Govindaji, which you can see in Vrindavan. It's there. It's been a little dismantled by the famous Aurangzeb, who we won't talk about anymore. Aurangzeb even temporarily turned it into a mosque. Aurangzeb. So Radha Govinda temple is there, and the Madan Mohan temple, Sanatana Goswami established. Of course, this is Vrindavan. But in South India, there are many other, numerous temples. So Lord Chaitanya's followers established temples, wrote books, and rediscovered, I use the word rediscovered, various holy places. Lord Chaitanya didn't do that so much. Of course, he rediscovered Radhakund, but he didn't write numerous books. He just wrote the 8 famous prayers, Sikshastakam prayers. So, Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaks, and at the very end he says, just give up all other types of worship. This would refer to demigod worship, ritualistic worship, too much emphasis on havans and things like this. Mamekam, just worship me alone. I'll protect you from all sinful reactions. Masuchaha, do not fear, do not hesitate, just do this. So this is Lord Krishna's final instruction although he spoke about many other things in the Bhagavad Gita, like karma yoga, jnana yoga, he concluded at the end of the 18th chapter, and I think you all know the verse together. Sava dhamma parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tam sava papebhyo moksheshe ma suchaham. Give up all other types of worship, just worship me alone. I shall protect you from all sinful reaction, parabdha karma, aparabdha karma. Do not hesitate, do not fear. So although Lord Krishna spoke this, still various communities and people, they didn't take it so seriously. They didn't really understand so much. So Krishna decided to appear again as Lord Chaitanya. So Lord Chaitanya was supposed to appear in the Kali Yuga, but it wasn't, he hadn't decided when in the Kali Yuga. Now, the beginning, or the beginning of the beginning, or in the middle, or towards the end. But at some point he decided to appear at the beginning of the beginning. So he appeared just 500 years ago, which according to cosmic terminology is really nothing. It's not even a millisecond. If you understand that Lord Brahma, who has a material body, and he's the number one, Lord Brahma, he's the number one living entity in this Brahmanda or universe, he lives for a mere 311 trillion years. So 311 trillion years is really nothing. And Prabhupada has explained in the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Brahma's life is like bubbles in the Atlantic Ocean. If you could be so bold as to go into the Atlantic Ocean, you'd have to go down to Cape Stad. And you venture into the water, with your water wings. And you look at the bubbles. Can you even measure the time they exist? The wave comes in, there's a few bubbles, they last half a second. So in chapter 8 of the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada has written, their life, Brahma's life, is like the bubbles in the Atlantic Ocean. So 311 trillion years. So what to speak of our lives? We're not even going to see 100 years. Am I correct? Do we see 100 years? Do we even see 90 years? My father and mother, they both made it to 90-something and then left. But my grandmother made it to 103. Ay, ay, ay. And they have this tradition in England that when you make it to 100, you get a letter from the Queen. Of course, the Queen is also no more. So now it would be King Charles III. So you get a personal letter when you're 100 years old. And then you celebrate. And the tradition is ice cream and champagne. So that's what my grandmother had. And my auntie, when she was 99, thought, I might not make it to 100, so let me have ice cream and champagne now. But then she did make it to 100. So then she had champagne again. So we're not even going to make it to 90, probably not 80. I was walking, I went down to see the garden outside, and I saw the plaques of my departed godbrothers. So I read their names. Srila Krishnadas Maharaj, not 90. Srila Bhakti True Maharaj, much younger. Srila Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, again younger. Shamlal Prabhu, His Grace Shamlal Prabhu. Am I forgetting anyone? Oh, Pusta Krishna. He helped in the early days. That's 1974. For 2 years he helped. And he also passed away. And so our lives are very short. We should make as much use of this short life as we can and not waste it simply becoming overly attached to material goals. So the word here is Sumedha Saha. Sumedha Saha means intelligent persons. You have to be a little intelligent to be able to practice spiritual life. You've got to have some smarts. You've got to have a little IQ. You've got to be a little intelligent. Spiritual life, devotional service to Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya is not for everyone. Because everyone is not very smart. We give the example, you go to pavilion and there's someone selling diamonds. Big diamonds, big rubies, and not from China. Now how many customers are they going to get lining up? 0. But you go across the road to the China shop, wherever it is in the macros, that China land, and there you can get imitation pearls, imitation this, you can get imitation anything, imitation guru. Zirconias, that's right. So the real thing is not really sought after. So Krishna consciousness is the real thing. Sumedha Saha, it is only for people who are very intelligent. So Lord Krishna appeared again because he had spoken Bhagavad Gita, but it hadn't been understood. So he appeared 500 years ago as Lord Chaitanya, and he appeared in Navadvip. Nava, of course, means 9. Dweep means islands. There's 9 special islands. And this is where Lord Chaitanya, Lord Krishna Chaitanya appeared. And he's the Yuga avatar. That means in this Yuga, we have to go through Lord Chaitanya to become self-realized, to go back to Vaikuntha or Vrindavan. We have to go through, we have to acknowledge him and we have to go through him. So, first is we accept Lord Chaitanya as God. Many of you come from the Hindu background, and when you were young, you may have heard of the Ramayana, I think possibly the Mahabharata, and you'd seen a couple Hindi films about Ramchandra and this and that. But how many of you knew or heard of Lord Chaitanya? None of you. So Lord Chaitanya, when he appeared, it's Gupta. It's like a hidden incarnation. He's not immediately understood. Another name of Krishna is Tri Yuga, or one who appears in 3 yugas, because his appearance in the Kali Yuga is, it's a little covered. It's a little mysterious. And people haven't heard so much. But Lord Chaitanya did appear 500 years ago with his associates. Lord Nityananda is none other than Balaram. Advaita Acharya is Mahavishnu. Gadadhar, Radharani entered into Gadadhar, and Narada Muni, the great saint, entered into Srivas. Narada Muni is one of our gurus. He's in our Brahma Sampradaya. We pray to Narada Muni. We pray to Lord Brahma. that we can remain within this sampradaya and continue to chant Krishna's holy name. So Lord Chaitanya also taught the Yugadam, which is simply to chant the holy names of God. So, regarding chanting the Lord's holy name, I was just reading, that's right. Therefore, Prabhupada writes now, therefore, to worship Lord Chaitanya, everyone should together chant the Maha Mantra. Then Prabhupada says it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. To propagate worship in churches, temples, or mosques is not possible because people have lost interest in that. But anywhere and everywhere people can chant Hare Krishna. Thus, worshipping Lord Chaitanya, they can perform the highest activity and fulfill the highest religious purpose as satisfying the Supreme Lord. So Lord Chaitanya has made it very simple in this age. It is not necessary to go to a place of worship. But of course, if you do go to a bona fide temple, what do they do in that temple? Chanting Hare Krishna, taking prasad, reading from the Bhagavatam or the Bhagavad Gita. The 5 most important types of devotional service are all executed in our temples. So it's an advantage to come to temples as much as you can. There's 5 important types of devotional service. Harinam, Sadhu Sangha, Bhagavat Shravana, Mathura Vasi, and Srimurtaye. So first one, Harinam, that means to chant Hare Krishna. So we do that. We're always chanting. I came in, there was chanting. I will leave, there's chanting. And then second one, Sadhu Sangha. We associate with other devotees. We meet other devotees. And hopefully we talk about Krishna rather than Ramphos's latest reshuttling his associates and a minister of electricity. So instead of talking about that and Formula One and cricket, we should be talking about Krishna, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, Sadhu Sangha. Third one, we hear Sastra. So I'm quoting scripture. We have we have the books. You can purchase these books. And Mathura, this temple, wherever there is the chanting of Krishna's holy name, that place becomes a tirtha. Tirtha means a holy place. So tirthas, the main tirthas, of course, are in India. Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri. 3 main ones. But in South India, also many others, Udupi, Ujjain, etc. So this temple is also like a tirtha. It's a holy place. And you can feel it when you come here, the mood. And then the last one, Srimurtaye. We worship deity. So in these temples we have deities. Sita Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman in some temples, like Bombay, or Radha and Krishna, or Nitai Gaura Hari, Lord Chaitanya, as in Lenasia. This is actually very amazing. For the first time in the Kali Yuga, this ISKCON has presented an organization with multi-gurus. Multi-gurus. It's never been done before. Prior to Prabhupada's presenting ISKCON, we had Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, one guru. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the Visva Vaishnava Sabha, basically he was the only guru. But in ISKCON, there's now 96 gurus. and we hope it will increase. So multi-gurus. And for the first time in the Kali Yuga, preaching is going on all over the world. Never before. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he preached in India. And he wanted to preach in Europe and England, overseas. And he tried to do something in England. He sent some disciples, 3 disciples. Samvidananda, he was doing his PhD. Bhakti Pradeep Tirtha Maharaj, actually a disciple of Bhakti Vinod, and Bon Maharaj. And they tried to preach, but it didn't really happen. They met various people, the Archbishop of Canterbury, they met Lord Zetland, and he was previously the governor in Bengal. And Lord Zetland, he asked Bon Maharaj, can you make me a Brahmin? I want to be a Brahmin. And Bon Maharaj said, yes, you just have to do 4 things. Now you know what are those 4 things. No meat, no fish, no eggs, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. Many of you have taken these vows. So when Lord Zetland heard this, he said one word: impossible. Impossible. But anyhow, these devotees, they tried to preach 1932, 1933. Apparently they even went to Germany and they met some of Hitler's associates and gave some scriptures, some books. Apparently Hitler was an ardent reader of books, so they figure he must have read. Anyhow, so they tried their best, but after 2 years they went back to India. Then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta also asked his disciples to go to Burma, and they tried to preach, but nothing much happened. But now, in possibly 100 countries throughout the world, right now, of course there's time difference, a Gaura festival is going on. Today, thousands of Gaura festivals must have gone on. South America, Argentina, Brazil, North America, Canada, Mauritius, even in the Russian countries, although there's some problem there, Ukraine countries, Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia, China, Ching-chong, China. It's going on. Although a little hidden, because we have to be careful, it's very popular in China. And even in some of the more heavy Muslim countries like Iran, yes. Israel, I know there are temples there in Israel. So this has all happened in the last 50 years only. All in the last 50 years. Prior to Srila Prabhupada going to America, no one had read a Bhagavad Gita. There were no temples. Then we have Bhagavad Gita in 60 languages. 60. And we're also hoping to print in many of the African languages. It's going on. We're printing. Because the books are very powerful. Prabhupada said that by books alone, communism spread in Bengal. The communists didn't actually come to Bengal, but they sent their books. And at one point, Bengal was a little on the communist side. So we're very fortunate to be within this mission, and it's all happened within the last 55 years. And it's been predicted by Lord Chaitanya that this chanting of Krishna's name will go to every town and village. And within the Kali Yuga, some acharyas have said that there will be a Prem Yuga. And they've used that word, Prem Yuga. And it will last for 10,000 years. And Prabhupada himself said Krishna consciousness will go on for 10,000 years unimpeded. And he used that word, unimpeded. So this is the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta tried to take it outside of India, but Srila Prabhupada, our spiritual master, he actually succeeded. And he planted the seeds. And now those seeds are sprouting. And the fruit of those trees is love of God. So we see now people from different walks of life, different societies, they're becoming Vaishnavas, they're becoming devotees. And Krishna consciousness is actually spreading. So this is the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, and today is his appearance day. So first we accept Lord Chaitanya as God, and we serve him accordingly. That means to serve his mission. So Lord Chaitanya spread chanting, dancing, and the taking of prasad. These three things mainly. In Ancha Lila, there was an example of a dog that went back to Godhead. And Prabhupada said chanting, dancing, and taking a prasad. So we concentrate on these three things. And then Prabhupada said if one is a little philosophically inclined, we have the books, we have the philosophy. But even if one is not learned, Prabhupada said it, even if one is not learned, like a dog, you can actually go back to Godhead, chanting, dancing, and taking prasadam. It's Ancha Lila. It's the story of Shivananda Sain and the dog. And Shivananda Sain became attached to this dog, and this dog went back to Godhead. But obviously a dog doesn't understand Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. And I don't think we could ask the dog to follow the 4 regulative principles. It just doesn't work. But this dog went back to the spiritual world. He was chanting, he was dancing, and Lord Chaitanya was feeding this dog prasadam. Chaitanya Charitamrita Ancha Lila chapter 1, you can read it. So we're very fortunate to be connected to this mission of Lord Chaitanya. And first we serve Lord Chaitanya. We recognize that he is God. We serve him. We serve his mission. And this ISKCON mission is the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then gradually, as you become more advanced, you might begin to understand how Lord Chaitanya came to experience what it's like to be his own devotee. And you can see in his life, he goes through different stages. And they culminate in Lord Chaitanya living in Jagannath Puri for 18 years. And in Jagannath Puri, Lord Chaitanya consciously meditated in the mood of Radharani. So, coming to taste, prema ras niyasa asvadam. Asvadam means to taste. So he wanted to taste what it's like to be his own devotee. So if we look at the schedule of devotees, who's at the top? Obviously, Radharani. So he was very much in her mood. Radhika Bhav, Prabhu, Sada, Abhiman. Sada means always. And Abhiman means the conception or thinking, I am. So Radha Bhav. Bhav meaning emotion or mood. So those last 18 years, Lord Chaitanya lived in Jagannath Puri. He had this mood. And he would experience Radharani's moods, especially when she was feeling separation from Krishna. very deep and very wonderful. So we start with Lord Chaitanya being God. We serve his mission by preaching, and then gradually, as we mature, we begin to understand Lord Chaitanya's inner mood. And his inner mood was Radha Bhav. Of course, there's a lot in between there also. But this inner mood of Lord Chaitanya. Yeah. So, Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, he's confirmed this, exactly what I said, but in a verse. And this is written in the Chaitanya Chandrodaya, where he says, Yata yata Gaura padara vinde, vindenti bhakti rasa priya, bhakti kriya, radha padambuja sudambu rasi. First, you serve Lord Chaitanya. You apply yourself to serving Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then gradually, as you advance, Radha Rasa Sudanidhi, you dive into the ocean of Lord Chaitanya's Leela and pastimes and activities, and Radha Rasa Sudanidhi, you surface in the kund of Radha and Krishna's love. Radha Padambuja, the lotus feet of Radharani. So first Lord Chaitanya. You can't avoid that. You can't circumvent that. It's first Lord Chaitanya. And you have to serve him and serve his mission, which is to preach. This is why Srila Prabhupada emphasized so much preaching mission. And then gradually, as you mature, hopefully in this lifetime, you begin to understand deeper sentiments of Lord Chaitanya, especially the sentiments he exhibited in Jagannath Puri, when he had the mood of Radharani in the Gambhira, secret cave. And he associated with Sarup Damodar, Ramananda Roy, in the house of Kasi Mishra, with Kashishvara, with Govinda, with Bada Haridas, Chota Haridas, so many associates. Remember, the Lord is never by himself. If an important man comes to the temple, he brings an entourage. Am I correct? First of all, the bodyguards. The bodyguards have to come and check the place out. Before he eats any food, someone has to check there's no poison in the food. He comes with his doctor. He comes with his secretary. When I think it was Bill Clinton, and he came to Cape Town years ago. He was previously a president of America. So it was two aircrafts that came, 747s or 787s or something, and bodyguards. His special car, it has a special name with bulletproof glass, And so if that's an ordinary human being, and the President of America is, I assure you, an ordinary human being with defects, what to speak of God? So when Lord Chaitanya appears, his mother appears. Mother Sachi. She's Mother Yasoda. She appears as Sachi. Jagannath Mishra, that's Nanda Maharaj. His brother Balaram appears as Nityananda. Hundreds of associates, thousands of associates appear with Lord Chaitanya. Some appeared before him, like Advaita Acharya. We always see the picture of Advaita Acharya with a white beard, indicating he was a little older. Haridas Thakur was many years older, 30 or 40 years older. Some appeared with Lord Chaitanya, and some appeared after him, like Narottam Das Thakur. He appeared in the same year that Lord Chaitanya left. Srinivasacharya, Shyamananda Pandit. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur appeared 500 years later. But really 300 years later. 300 years is nothing. Bhaktivinoda, and then Bhaktisiddhanta, and then Srila Prabhupada, our Guru Maharaj, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, appeared. So this Prabhupada is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that the activities of this ISKCON movement are non-different than the activities of Lord Chaitanya, because the same principles are being followed. But instead of Vrindavan in India, it's Durban, Johannesburg, Washington, New York, San Francisco, and we do a Rath Yatra. The first time in the Kali Yuga they ever had a Rath Yatra in San Francisco. So we're part of this mission, and we should take it very seriously, and we should feel very privileged, and try to contribute in whichever way we can. When I use the word contribute, I'm not actually really referring to money. People like to give money and then just step back and think, oh, I've done my share. I've given my hands in the hundi. Didn't you notice I gave that coconut last month and those 3 sticks of incense? I've increased it now to 4 sticks. Inflation. So contribute means to help. Food for life, book distribution, the Rath Yatra festival we may have, to help the maintenance of the temple, security of the temple, we need that. Deity worship, cooking, Namahattas, very important. Outreach preaching. So this is the real contribution. Of course, money is also appreciated, Lakshmi, but more important, real Guru Dakshin. We want to reciprocate with Prabhupada. Dakshin, give back to Prabhupada. It's not money. Guru Dakshin is you give your heart. You give your heart to the Guru. So please do that. Give your heart to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, Advaita, Garadha, Srivas. Become more serious in your commitments. Worship of Lord Chaitanya. Meditate on Lord Chaitanya. Meditate on his pastimes. Walking on the bank of the Ganges. Lord Chaitanya at Srivasangam, having nocturnal kirtans for 1 year every night. Lord Chaitanya visiting Vrindavan, discovering Radhakund. Lord Chaitanya walking around Govardhan Hill. Some of you may have done that, walked around Govardhan Hill. On that, there's a particular parikram trail, there's a path. Now, I don't think that path would have really changed much. Paths don't tend to change much. So 500 years ago, the same Govardhan Hill was there. It was probably the same path. So you're walking on the same path that Lord Chaitanya walked on. You think about this. So we meditate on Lord Chaitanya, dancing, chanting Hare Krishna, going through Jharakanda forest. Lord Chaitanya on Jagannath Puri beach. You can go down to Durban beach in the daytime. Got to be careful. And you can walk there and chant. And it's just the other side. India is just the other side. And you can think Lord Chaitanya also walked on the same ocean because it's called the Indian Ocean. Just don't get too close to the ocean. Meditating on Lord Chaitanya. There's one nice verse, often I think of this. On a bright moon, on a bright autumn moon. So the Purnima. So today is Purnima. As I was driving down here, I saw the moon and I didn't recognize it. I thought it was a building because it was so low. And I thought, wow, what's that building? And then I looked at it more and I realized it was the moon, golden, behind the clouds. So I didn't see it as being round. It looked like the top high-rise building or something. So on the night of a full moon, in the autumn night, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, feeling separation for Radharani, walking on Jagannath Puri beach, mistook the sea for the Jamuna River and ran into the Jamuna River and floated in the Jamuna the whole night in a mood of spiritual ecstasy. Later the devotees found him. I do not recommend that you do this because logic prevails. You will not float. You will have a tendency to go down. But Lord Chaitanya is God, and he's floating in the water. And he floated for some 20 kilometers, apparently. And then I began to think, well, he must have come in contact with a fish. Did the fish get liberated? I think they did. Because one fisherman got liberated. A fisherman caught Lord Chaitanya on one occasion and touched the body of Lord Chaitanya and came to the stage of love of God, technically the stage of bhav. The fisherman thought, oh, I've been possessed by a ghost, Bhuta, and started running here and there. But actually it was the beginning stage, well, it was the stage of bhav, which is the preliminary stage of love of God being prem. So it's prem abas, stage of bhav. And this fisherman, he obtained it. So obviously, fisherman, what does he do? Does he sign life insurance policies or sell cars? Or he's a retail manager or works for Nedbank? No, he catches fish. And if you catch fish, what is the likelihood that you eat them? I think 99%. So he was a fish eater, but he got love of God. So I was thinking also the fish that may have come in contact with Lord Chaitanya also became elevated. The animals in Jharkhand forest got liberated. The trees, the antelopes, the tigers, the elephants, the rhinoceroses. They came to the stage of love of God. They came to what I said, the stage of bhav. They came to this very extremely high stage. You can't go any higher than the stage of bhav in this body of skin and blood and mucus. Then you take birth in the Lord's pastimes, and then you go to the stage of prem. See, there's the transgression. There's a stages. So we should try to think of Lord Chaitanya in his pastimes, and you can read in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's so nice. And we have the deity of Lord Chaitanya here. So this is our good fortune, the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, given to us by Srila Prabhupada and his sincere followers. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Sri Gopurnim ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Would you like to ask any questions or make any comments? Anyone? You all agree? Thank you. So, yes, Rath Yatra, if we can be involved, it's good. Some or other, we're doing something. When I heard that the Rath Yatra had been somewhat reduced, I thought a blind uncle is better than none. And then I changed it to a cockeyed uncle is better than none. Would you agree? So we're doing something. It's nice. It's nice. And people will get... I was reading, if someone's... in Skanda Purana, if someone sees the face of the Lord with a lamp, then 10 million births as sinful reaction in the past are wiped out, and 10 million reactions from sinful activities performed in the future are wiped out just by seeing the Lord from the lamp. You know, so before there wasn't electricity, there was a lamp, and you'd see the lamp. And then it's mentioned in Nectar Devotion that just seeing the Lord on a Rath Yatra cart, one goes back to Vaikuntha. So the devotee people, non-devotees, will see Jagannath, and then their journey back to Vaikuntha, Vrindavan, will start. It doesn't mean you're going to go back in this lifetime, but it started. It started your devotional service just to see Jagannath. So it's very nice, this festival, Jagannath. Anyone like to ask or say anything? So I think we're the curtains open at 9. I've understood. Is that correct? Then we're going to see Lord Chaitanya. I would assume most of you have taken prasadam. You planned it like that. No harm. Take prasad. So we'll have a short kirtan and maybe the kartals. And then if you can stay till 9, it's nice. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everyone. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Everyone. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare, louder, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Come on, louder. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Louder. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yeah. Louder. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Louder, louder. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Gaura Hare. Nitai Gauranga, Gaura Hare. Nitai Gauranga, Gaura Hare. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hare. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hare. Nana Gaura Hare. Jaya Sachinandana Gaura Hare. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hare. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
I think you can come forward and then go back and come forward and go back, and ladies as well. Come forward and go back and come forward already. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare forward. Back, forward. Now everyone, all the men, forward. Forward together. You got it. Forward together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Forward, back. Forward. Back. Nitai Gauranga Gaura Hare. Nitai Gauranga Gaura Hare. Gaura Hare. Gaura Hare. Jaya Sachinandana Gaura Hare. Jaya Sachinandana Gaura Hare. Gaura Hare. Gaura Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Everyone. Nitai Gaura Hare, Nitai Gaura Hare, Gaura Hare. Nitai Gaura. Nitai Gaura Hare, Nitai Gaura Hare, Gaura Hare. Nitai Gaura Hare, Nitai. Radha Varana Tayara, Varana Tayara. Jaya Radha Varana Tayara, Varana Tayara. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga, 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 Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radha, Radhe Nath Radha, Radhe Nath Radhe. Jai Gauranitai, 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 Jai Gauranitai. Jai Gauranitai, 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 Jai Gauranitai. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Srila Prabhupada ki, His Holiness Partha Sarathi Das Goswami Maharaj ki, Jai Om Vishnu Paramamsa Privrajacharya Sutrasata, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Prem Sakho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Giridhara Srivasari Gaura Bhaktivedanta ki, Ganga Maya ki, Yamuna Maya ki, Bhakti Devi ki, Samaveta Bhaktivinoda ki, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki, assembled devotees ki, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Shri Prabhupada.
Give me the lens, I need the lens. Yeah, hold this, hold this. Just hold it. Nice. Namaste Narasingaya. Namaste Narasingaya. Praladayine. Hiranyakashipur Vakshaha. Sila Chankan Kalae. Sila Chankan Kalae. Ito nishmo parato nishmo. Yato yato yamitato nishmo. Pahir nishmo idaye nishmo. Narishma madim saranam prapade. Avakar kamalavare nakam adbhuta shringam. Dalita hiranyakashipur tano bringam. Keshavadeta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Nrsingadev, 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 Jaya Nrsingadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I know. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Gurudeva, 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 Jaya Gurudeva. Srila Prabhupada ki.